I am number one. I am number one. I am number one. Hey, hi, it's Mr. Mike for the Mechanicsburg Learning Center. Dreary day out there today, so what a great time to talk about dinosaurs. Well, we're going to talk about a very interesting one today, one that needs to be a lot more famous. First of all, I want to thank you for tuning in. I'm coming to you with the Association of the Mechanicsburg Learning Center, and this is DINO-A-Day. And today's dinosaur is called Megalosaurus. Megalosaurus is a dinosaur that should be a lot more famous than it is. Person standing in the mall, which of course won't happen for another 2 months. But if you were to walk up to someone and say, hey, have you ever heard of Megalosaurus? They would say, no, Megalodon. Megalosaurus should be a lot more famous because it is the first dinosaur ever discovered and named. Now, there have been other dinosaurs discovered before Megalosaurus, but this was back in 1824. However, people didn't know what they had. They picked up these things, and some of them thought they were giant humans. They thought they were giant old Roman war elephants. They weren't sure what they were. In fact, the first remnants of Megalosaurus was discovered in 1676, and it literally took 166 years until Dr. Richard Owen came up with the word dinosauria. So dinosaur, the word wasn't even invented till a long time after the Megalosaurus was discovered. So let's jump right into it. Again, I want to thank you for all the shares from yesterday. We had a lot of fun. A lot of people are watching this, and hopefully you're learning something every day. That goes for you too, adults. Okay. First of all, let's take a look at the Megalosaurus. Now, here's the sad fact. Not many folks even make Megalosaurus models. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. This is our old pal T-Rex. All right. Looks similar to Megalosaurus. In fact, it's probably more accurate to show this guy instead of the T-Rex. Bring this one up. This, folks, is the Allosaurus. Hopefully you can see that. I'll bring this in a little bit here so you can see Megalosaurus. I'm sorry. This is the Allosaurus, okay? And the thing that makes Allosaurus similar to Megalosaurus is, look right here. 3 claws. Yeah, 3 claws. Megalosaurus had 3 claws. T-Rex, as we know, has 2. So the Megalosaurus is similar to the Allosaurus in that respect. Probably similar in body shape too, kind of long and lean with sort of a sharp snout, okay? There's a nice big look at the Allosaurus, or Big Al's I like to call him. Similar, of course, to the Megalosaurus. So let's give you some facts about the Megalosaurus. This bad boy lived about 170 to 155 million years ago. Its name, Megalosaurus, means big lizard. Not the most creative name, but remember, this was the first dinosaur ever discovered, and it just beat out another dinosaur literally by days in terms of it being named and having a paper published on it. And that number 2 dinosaur was the Iguanodon. Put that in your trivia memory banks. So, 1824, discovered Buckland. But as I said, it dates back to 1676, where that original bone ended up being lost, and all they have left of it is a drawing. That whole thing happened with a man named Robert Plot, and he had really no idea what it was. They even thought at one time that the femur, which is the thigh bone, a piece of the thigh bone is discovered, and they attributed it to a race of giant humans for a while. So, my, how things have changed. So in 1842, Dr. Richard Owen comes along and names the dinosaurs that were discovered, not even knowing that they were dinosaurs, these creatures that were discovered, which was the Megalosaurus, the Iguanodon, and something called Haleosaurus, groups them together and says, I'm going to call them Dinosauria. So that's why we have the word dinosaur. The thing that happened with the Megalosaurus was very interesting. It became what they would call kind of a wastebasket of scientific discovery of dinosaurs. Think about this. When Megalosaurus was discovered, people didn't know there were things like dinosaurs. So every time some big bone was discovered, they said, oh, you've discovered another Megalosaurus. So Megalosaurus discoveries were being made all over the world. And guess where the greatest discoveries are being made now? they're going back and looking at all these things that were named Megalosaurus and finding out they weren't Megalosaurus at all. They were Dilophosaurus, or they were Proceratosaurus or Magnosaurus. All these different dinosaurs were discovered as a result of being thrown in the wastebasket thinking that they were all Megalosaurus. So, here's the things you want to remember about Megalosaurus. Similar to T-Rex, except it had 3 claws. About 23 to 30 feet long. Not the biggest guy, but certainly sharp teeth. They discovered the jawbone of it. Very beautiful jawbone with one nice preserved tooth sticking out of it. And that became a very, very famous fossil. I think it's pretty incredible that it took 166 years for the discovery of it way, 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 way back the first time in 1676 for them to even come up with the word dinosaur. So think about it. We're going to end this segment with a little story that I wrote all about the Megalosaurus and why I think it should be a lot more famous than it is. The Megalosaurus by Mr. Mike, illustrated by my son, Ethan. And notice what he's wearing on his paw. I am number one. I am number one. Why? Because he was number one. Once there was no name for all the strange bones that were found. Folks had no idea what was lurking in the ground. If you came across a thing that didn't have a name, chances are your life would never ever be the same. When a monstrous femur was discovered in limestone, people thought at first it was a giant human bone. Lots of time went by before they figured it all out. This was not a human bone. Of this, they had no doubt. It was found before we had the term dinosaur. Certainly, this bone was rare, but we must be quite sure. So it all was left for scientists to analyze just what kind of beast had legs of monumental size. As a giant lizard, Megalosaurus it was dubbed, so that giant human view was cast aside and snubbed. It became the first of many animals to be praised and subsequently named for its true rarity. Now, scores of dinosaurs have since been found and classified, resurrected from the ancient soil where they died. But every beast behind the Megalosaurus there in line, adding to the countless ones that lived throughout Earth's time. The Megalosaurus, first dinosaur ever discovered. Remember that. First of all, thanks again for all your shares. I hope you're enjoying yourself as we work our way through this shutdown, let's call it. And tune in again tomorrow. We'll be doing it tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., and we will archive it so you can watch it at your leisure. Please remember to share this with your friends and family on Facebook and your colleagues. We're getting very, very many nice comments. And I want comment area, if you would like to hear about a particular dinosaur that you'd like to learn more about, just list it there and maybe we can get to it before this is all over. Thanks. Have a wonderful day. Stay dry. And we'll see you again tomorrow for the Mechanicsburg Learning Center's Mr. Mike's DINO-A-DAY.